Well, good morning, everybody. And here I am, preaching the virtues of virtual reality again. Now, I was talking over with my friends about trying to get some equipment and maybe going out and filming some real estate or something and trying to sell it to local agents. Well, about 30 miles from here, there's somebody already doing that. But every time I think about doing the virtual reality thing, and then it seemed reasonable, there was a camera called the Oculus, and apparently they're having trouble with it and haven't released it yet. But what they're really after is a camera that works like a GoPro that's small enough that you can wear it and it can film virtual reality, and you don't have to set up every room. You just slap it on your head or wherever you want it. But aside from that, there's there was a machine that I saw in I don't know if it was Popular Mechanics or what. It was only $800, and it's a form, so you're laying out like Superman to support your body, and you have a couple of joysticks in each hand, and you put your virtual reality glasses on, and you can literally fly well, whatever they have programmed. If they want to take you into the Grand Canyon, or they want to take you over a mountain, or they just want to, someone has filmed your neighborhood or whatever. And by moving the joysticks, it determines whether you go up or down, whether you go left or right, and it's apparently very entertaining. And I'd be shocked if they don't start at $800 if they don't start popping up in all kinds of arcades and things because kids would love them. But at $800, what better if you have a house and you have money and say you have a workout room. After you get done the workout, you want to put a fan on yourself and you want to lay down and relax. What better thing to relax than to just sail around and go where you want? But that got me thinking that this virtual reality is really big now in the sense that it's directed mostly after at kids for various games and entertainment that fashion. But that's going to be a minuscule part of this, although it's the vast majority of sales now are for that. But I started thinking, well, what you could really what would Skype be like in virtual reality? You know, it'd be like instead of doing like this, just face to face, we'd be there. I could turn around and take you. You'd be in my room, and I'd be in your room. Oh, let's leave that part out. and, and so I just started to make a little list when I was in the bathroom this morning, just as some of the possibilities. Now, right now, it's costing the old man the money because the kid's going to cry if he doesn't get a VR thing for his birthday or if he didn't get one for Christmas or whatever. But think of the money you'll save when, say, you don't have 5 days to waste in Disney World or Disneyland. When you go down there for mainly for the events, the rides and stuff. What if you could have literally no waiting time for any ride, and you could literally ride every ride in Disney World or Disneyland or Six Flags merely by putting a headset on and sitting in whatever convenient chair you have. You know, I don't know if the chair's got to rumble when you're doing when you're going through. But that's possible too, because all of you that have been to casinos know that certain slot machines while they're activating, they'll rattle your chair and everything else, and that wouldn't be that big of an addition. So you could literally save thousands of dollars, and maybe it costs $100 or whatever to do all the rides in Disney. But Disney's going to make out, and the people aren't going to stop going to Disney. But if you don't have the time or you don't have the money, what a perfect thing to do, and you don't feel like spending the extra $100, so you you get in the VIP and you get to go ahead of every other poor schmuck that's been standing there for hours. But you'll be able to do that all with virtual reality. I thought, what about people that have to be trained for something? You could be trained at home. They'll send you a cartridge or however this stuff is communicated, and you could train for a job while you're sitting home. So you save the factory the trouble of having to have a separate room for you, or to have you out and walking around the plant where you'd be nothing but in the way, and have to have someone train you for this. You could literally sit at home and be trained for any new job that the company required, and it would be perfect because you don't have to go through a whole bunch of lines at unemployment. And all they do is they take your natural abilities. If they need a certain IQ or something, or they need a certain physical ability, then if you fit them, then they'll send you this job interview, and if you pass the interview, then they send you to training. And this is all done at a great savings to yourself and your time, because you can do this at home. And this is done at a great savings for the industry or any particular head of any business that wants to train you. Now, what about the fact of visiting a doctor? When I go to a doctor, the 9/10 of what goes on, besides him taking your blood pressure, is all summed up in these things. These are records of your blood work. Now, the blood work. I always have a copy sent to me, as well as the doctors, at the same time they send them to the doctor's office, because it tells you the parameters at which each of the items that are being looked at on the blood work. It gives you the parameters for each one of them, whether you're above or below or right where you're supposed to be. So 9/10 of the information that you're getting from the doctor. I got to put that back in order because it tells me my next doctor's appointment. All that information, 9/10 of what's going to help him, is right there, and he has that information, and you have that information, and through virtual reality, you could, as far as that goes, you could Skype him, and he could sit down at his desk and go through a whole mess of patients without having 6 nurses, one to carry you, one to have you go in and weigh you, and so forth. And all he does really is they take your vitals, your blood pressure, and your heartbeat. And that's all they do. And if necessary, then they listen to your thing. But how much cheaper would it be to provide people with home monitors for their blood pressure, and something they could put up to their chest and have the doctor? And then if something more was necessary, then you could always go to the office. But it would be a tremendous savings of time and equipment. Now, of course, real estate. You want to visit any house you want to go through, zip, you're right there. You fly over the neighborhood and all that. We've gone into that. Say you come home from work and you're exhausted. So you sit down, put on a virtual reality thing. It could be music, it could be anything, it'll take you right to the concert. You could watch opera, you could watch anything you wanted, or you could watch some R&B band or whatever. Or if you're more relaxed, having some soothing music and sitting by a pond or something, you're right there. But this is so, the work they're doing is so advanced. Oh, the other thing was that I found a camera, OZO camera, was apparently the best out there now for virtual reality, but it's $45,000. Now, but it'll be the same as work the same as your GoPro. Well, everybody's thinking this, might as well say it, virtual reality sex. Before you know it, you won't have to worry about your daughter getting pregnant. You'll buy her, whatever her favorite actor is, because that's where the money's going to be. So they'll have virtual reality sex, and nobody gets pregnant. Everybody's happy. Uh, you know, yada yada yada. There's so many things they can do with that. Now, something was very interesting happened last week. They had the first in real time virtual reality basketball broadcast. Now, can you imagine this? The guy said it was actually like being in the game. You're right in the middle of everything. They have, like the football has that camera that flies all over the place, so you get the view from overhead, and then you can get the view on the sidelines and everything like that. Well, that would be a virtual reality camera there, and you can, if they can do it with basketball, they can do it with hockey or football or any other major sport, and put you right in the middle of the action. Do you know how fast this is going to develop? Because how much more money Comcast and these other companies can charge you to watch virtual reality basketball events. There's already a tennis channel you got to pay extra for. There's a football channel you got to pay extra for, and who knows? I mean, I'm sure there are dozens of other channels that specialize in each event. But here you would be. You'd be right there. And imagine being at the Olympics and going to every event without ever leaving your chair. This virtual reality, I'm telling you, if I was younger, I'd be pushing money in some direction, or the best thing would be to have a pool of different virtual reality people that were developing the software, that were developing the hardware, and as many companies as you could get into that pool, and invest like a spider, with a regular market, so that if one of them goes under, two of them go under, you're still attached to the one that's going to outperform everybody. And believe me, keep your eye on these. Now, I thought you could do your homework, homeschooled for sure, but you could even do lab work if you were virtual reality. You had a set of gloves and things that were hooked up to the virtual reality, and you could do your lab work at home very safely, and there would be a robot there that would be pouring the chemicals and everything else. There's just endless things. I don't know. Oh, here's the visit. Yeah, of course you visit all your national parks. You can go to any place in any one of them and fly over them, say the Arches National Monument. You could fly right under one of them, which you legally can't do. But they could get permission to film it with a drone. Uh, and say you want to be on a fossil hunt, but you're too old and feeble like I am to physically be out there, you can join a fossil hunt, and for a couple of bucks that helps the fossil people, and you're right there. We're right there where the discovery's being made, and you can do underwater stuff, and there's just no end to it. Let me see if I missed anything that my job training, Skype, athletic events. Oh, home security. You could have they have those machines that run around and vacuum your floor. Well, you could attach a virtual reality camera to that, and anytime you wanted, you could travel around them to make sure everything in your home was secure. I don't know if I missed any or not. It doesn't even matter, because it's a limited possibility thing, this virtual reality. And you combine that with robotics, you combine it with artificial intelligence, and what's the other one I'm always pushing? 3D printing, and this is the future. And just keep up with it, follow it, and if you're young enough, by all means, invest in it.